Fees, let's start with, why do you think Deshaun chose Cleveland over New Orleans and Atlanta last second?
I mean, I think there's obvious reasons for it. I mean, first and foremost, Atlanta being a tire fire of a rebuild at the very moment. That situation isn't much better than Houston. He could have just stayed there if he was going to do that. So there was no reason for him to actually come to Atlanta. I never thought he was actually coming. I know a lot of people were excited. I never saw that coming. New Orleans wasn't a whole lot better. I mean, he did have AK-41 and possibly Michael Thomas. We don't know what his health is like. He's been out for so long. His injury might be worse than what any of us think that it is. And they're also lacking on the coaching aspect. So being outside of that, there's one more major reason why he didn't come to either of those teams, because he needed to go to a place where there ain't nothing to do. Mm-hmm. Atlanta, New Orleans, and Houston are all major hot spots for all kinds of stuff to be popping off, and everything else that he's got, those places are massive distractions.
Yeah.
He need to be somewhere where, I mean, it's like Cleveland's not a hole-in-the-wall city like Green Bay. Like, that's not actually a real city. But it's nothing like those three cities. There's not nearly as much to do, and it's extra cold. I mean, he spent some time inside and actually focus on football as opposed to having nightlife on top of nightlife on top of nightlife going on, because Houston, New Orleans, and Atlanta all have that, like, way too much of it. And Charlotte has it too.
Yeah.
I think that's why he did it.
Yeah. Yeah, good breakdown there, man. Definitely definitely a good way to dig into that. Because, the news broke about, Baker Mayfield wanted out. He requested the trade. He had already wrote on social media. He knew Deshaun Watson was coming in, and he really felt like his time was over. But we had also heard that, Deshaun was out on the Browns. He wasn't with it. But that morning that news breaks, comes back, he circles back around, surprises everybody, and wants to play for the Cleveland Browns. And, great point that you started off with, talking about Atlanta really being obviously a dumpster fire of a rebuild right now. Obviously, Matt Ryan had just got out, so they were looking to make a major move, but we really didn't know this was going to be a blow-up or a rebuild, and they admitted that with the Matt Ryan move. Recent seasons, like I mentioned, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Russell Gage, Foye Oluokun, all those guys being top one or two, being, one or two in the depth chart in terms of their position and how well they're playing for their team. So he saw that, it wasn't going to be that much better in Atlanta. And you can even, it's not even arguably saying, but Houston has, they're just off of a double-digit win season and being up by 24 on Kansas City a couple seasons ago in the divisional. Obviously, it's been a really rapid downturn, but the Falcons haven't seen much better since the Super Bowl year. I mean, they really haven't. They don't have an above 500 winning record since the Super Bowl year. And in terms of Atlanta, yes, obviously good culture, but Deshaun Watson is a big play kind of guy. He's slinging it huge, obviously, out there in Houston. They don't have any deep threats in New Orleans. We don't know about Michael Thomas. Alvin Kamara is probably going to get bottled up. I mean, we saw AK miss some games last year because he had to go through so many carries with New Orleans. And I just think when you look at New Orleans, unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it as a fan, the situation's not good. Yeah, we're making cap space, but we're sending everybody out. We just lost Teron Armstead. People are heading out the door in New Orleans, so there really wasn't going to be a whole lot there for him. Now you look at Cleveland. They've obviously got wide receivers. Amari Cooper just came over, so that's a great pickup there for him. An amazing backfield, an amazing offensive line, an amazing defense. A guy in Kevin Stefanski who is off of a coach of the year just not too long ago. So we know that he's going to have a lot of great energy in Cleveland.